Good morning, children. Welcome to our video lecture. Today we are going to study lesson number 8, How Seasons Occur, part 2. Now, children, in our first lesson also we have studied about how seasons occur, which was part 1. In our first lesson we have just studied about the position of the earth, the position of the sun, how the sun keeps on changing its position. Now actually sun does not change its position. Sun is at one place, but earth is moving as it is revolving around the sun. So the position of the earth is changing and we feel that the sun's position changes. So how it happens and what are its effects due to the revolution of the earth around the sun? What happens? What are the different changes which take place? Some seasons we experience in which the days are long and the nights are short, whereas in some season we experience days are short and nights are long. So why all this thing happen? We are going to study in detail in our this lesson. So let's get started with our lesson. Apparent movement of the sun. You must have realized through your observation that the position of the sun at sunrise appears to change on the horizon every day. Horizon is early morning when the sun rises. Its position appears to move towards the north or south in the course of the year. So throughout the year, if you continuously observe the sunrise early morning, you will see that the position of the sunrise keeps on changing. It keeps on moving towards north or south throughout the year. However, in reality, the sun does not move anywhere. That is why this movement of the sun towards the north or south in a year is called the apparent movement of the sun. The position of the rising sun keeps on moving towards the south in the period from 21st June to 22nd December. So in this time period from 21st June to 22nd December, the position of the sun keeps on rising, or it keeps at the early morning, it keeps on moving towards the south side. This period is called Dakshinayan. And from 22nd December to again 21st June, the sun keeps on moving towards the north. This period is called Uttarayan. The revolution of the earth around the sun and the tilted axis of the earth are the two factors responsible for the apparent movement of the sun. So, as I said, there are two reasons. The one is the revolution of the earth around the sun. So, when the earth is revolving around the sun, it goes on moving and thus the axis, its axis north pole and south pole, they get tilted, which we have studied in first lesson, the tilted axis of the sun, of the earth. So that and the revolution, these two things are responsible factor for the apparent movement of the sun. So as I said, sun is not moving, sun is fixed in its position, earth is revolving as well as rotating. So because of which we feel that sun is moving and thus there are changes which occurs, or there are season, the change into season, change into the daytime, night time. As I said, nights are long, days are short, or days are long and nights are short. Okay. Seasons occur only with reference to the northern and the southern hemisphere. So mostly the seasons occur only with the northern and the southern hemisphere. So the change in the season is occurring, or it happens into the northern and southern hemisphere. Now here you can see they have given, you have in your textbook page number 47, figure 8.1 is given here, which is cycle of seasons, equinox and solstices. You can see there. Here you can see this, it's a spring equinox. It is on 21st March. You can see the north pole is tilted, okay, upward, and the south pole is tilted this side, and here is sun. So what happened? See, this portion is into the dark, and as the sun is, the earth is facing towards the sun, so you can see this much portion is into light. Okay, now this is far away north pole, extreme north pole is far away from the sun, so this will also be into dark, like extreme north pole I am talking about. Okay, so this will be into dark for 6 months until it gets straight, okay, or it moves towards the other part. This south pole, as it is facing towards the sun, it is going to experience a day for 6 months. Okay, then what happened from year to year? Summer solstice, 21st June, you can see north pole and south pole. Now see, south pole went far away, so here this north pole is experiencing the day for 6 months because the sun, north pole is facing towards sun, and this south pole, it is far away from the sun, and that is why the south pole is in the dark. Okay, so this is what happens to the north pole and the south pole when they are tilted in their axis. Now this is not straight, it is not a straight line. This north pole and south pole are not straight, they have, the earth is tilted, so the north pole is in east, towards east direction, and south pole has come towards west direction. Okay, now other movement, further you go, here you can see this is autumnal equinox, that is in 23rd September. Now here what happened? By the time the earth got revolved around the sun, it is moving and rotating around itself, it came here, it is 23rd September. And now what had happened? The north pole, it is same, north pole is here and south pole is here, but now it has gone far away, so little portion can see the sun and more portion is the dark. So now here what happened? The nights are long and the days are short. Here what happened? Days are short and nights are long. Here what happened? Nights are short, days are long. Here also same thing, nights are days are long, nights are short. Okay, so here it goes from north pole to south pole. Now what happened here? See, this is 23 degree 30 inch, it has got tilted. So now here what happened? North pole is in dark and south pole has come, it is facing towards the sun, so it has come into light. So this is winter solstice. Okay, now we are going to study about the perihelion and aphelion position of the earth. I think in your first lesson also I had explained your perihelion and aphelion position. Let's see, I don't know how much you all remember. Anyways, the path of the revolution of the earth around the sun is ecliptical. Now the path is what is the path? In which direction the earth is revolving around the sun. Now when the earth is revolving, see, you can see here the earth, this is earth and this is sun. Now when the earth is revolving around the sun, it is not going in, okay, it is circular, but it is not going in exactly circle, it is going into little bit spherical shape. Okay, it is not proper circle, it is oval shape. So this is the path, the way, the road of the earth. Okay, the way, on which way it has to go. So this path which is there of the revolution of the earth around the sun is elliptical. Elliptical is in oval shape. The sun is at the two centers of the ellipse. So the sun is at the center. Now we can see the sun is at the center. This is one point and this is another point. And the sun is at the center. Okay. The sun does not change its position. As the earth moves in an ellipse, its distance from the sun does not remain the same. But now what happened? As it is not moving in the proper circle or proper round shape, it is moving in the oval shape, and that is why the distance of the earth from the sun is not equal all the time. Sometimes it is very far and sometimes it is little bit closer. So it is at its minimum distance. So minimum distance in the first week of January, that is called perihelion position of the earth. Now here you can see they had given, yes, this is, how much is this distance? Distance 147 million kilometers. Okay, so it is not very close also, but compared to this distance, this is, at least here it is 152 kilometers and this is 147 million kilometers. So this is perihelion, where the sun is, earth is little bit close to the sun. In this aphelion position, the earth is far away from the sun. So that is known as aphelion position, and when it is in close, it is called as perihelion position. So let's see what is given here. It is at its minimum distance in the first week of January. This is called the perihelion position of the earth. In this position, the southern end of the axis is towards the sun. Now it is very important. You can see the the southern pole. This is south pole and this is north pole. So this south pole is facing towards the sun and north pole is facing opposite sides. Okay, so this north pole is in dark and this south pole is in towards the sun. So here it is getting sunlight. Rest of the other part, they are getting sunlight, but then this is remaining like this only, and thus this south pole is experiencing days for 6 months. They are not experiencing night time. Okay, so let's see. In this position, the southern end of the axis is towards the sun. As against this, in the first week of July, the earth is at the farthest point from the sun. This is called the aphelion position. I had explained y'all. This is aphelion position, which is far away from the sun. But now what happened? By the time from earth came from year to year, what happened? Okay, it came from year to year. But then what happened? This sun and this is earth. So now what happened here? North pole is facing towards sun and south pole is away. Okay, so it is like that only. The axes are tilted. But what happened? North pole, it went from east to west. Sorry, west to east. So now what happened here? This north pole is experiencing daytime and south pole is experiencing night time. So that is a aphelion position in which the earth is far away from the sun. In this position, the northern end of the axis is towards the sun. With help of figure 8.1, we can understand it. I had already explained you all that, which shows the position of the earth in relation to the sun. You can guess which season prevails in which hemisphere. Seasons occur due to the revolution of the earth as well as due to the tilt of its axis of rotation. So as already we had studied, or I had explained you all, seasons are occurring because of revolution of the earth and the tilt of the axis of the rotation. When the rotation takes place, the earth's axis are getting tilted, and because of which the seasons occur. As the earth revolves around the sun, the equator receives perpendicular rays on 2 days in a year. So now what happened? When the earth is revolving around the sun, so in some time period, that is for 2 days in a year, the earth revolves around the sun, the equator receives perpendicular rays on 2 days in the year. So equator, you all know, this is the center line on the earth which is known as equator. So now what happened, this when it get tilted, so sometimes the north pole is here and the south pole is here. Okay, so this is facing the sun and this is facing the dark. When it goes to the other side, the north pole is facing the darkness and the south pole is facing the sun. So that keeps on changing. But then this equator, anything happens, this equator remains in front of the sun only, and thus it is experiencing more heat or more rays of the sun. And in that, for 2 days in the entire year, it is receiving perpendicular straight sun rays. Okay, straight sun rays. Sometimes what happen, when it get tilted, the equator comes little bit here, or maybe the equator goes little bit up here and there. It does not go, but then what happen, the earth get tilted, and that is why it get little bit parallel like this slanting rays. But 2 days in a year, it is right in front of the sun, and thus they are receiving the parallel sun rays. Okay, perpendicular sun rays. The condition occurs on 21st March and 23rd September. So on these 2 days, 21st March and 23rd September, the earth equator receives perpendicular sun rays. On these days, both the poles are at the same distance from the sun. This is called equinox. So on 21st March and 23rd September, both the poles are on the equidistance from the sun. So they are straight. Okay, they are at equal distance. Otherwise, what happen? North pole is towards more close to the sun and south pole is away. Or sometimes south pole is close to the sun and north pole is away. You can understand in this figure. Okay, so here what happened? South pole is near the sun, north pole is away. Here what happened? North pole is near the sun, south pole is away. But on the equinox day, both are like this, straight, and they are having equal distance from the sun. So that is known as equinox. The illuminated and the dark portion of all the parallels, including the equator, are shown in figure 8.3. Okay, so this is figure 8.3. You can see they have shown the illuminated. Illuminated means the part of the earth which is getting sunlight due to the sun, and this is the opposite part of the earth, so it is in the dark at that time. So this is illuminated, which is receiving the light from the sun, and the dark portion, both are shown. They are parallel, both are same, equal. See, here they are not slanting or like that, not teda meda, but they are equally distributed. Half it is done, you can see. So they are shown in figure 8.3. In the figure, the circle of illumination divides all the parallels from the north pole to the south pole equally. So in this you can see it is dividing from north pole to south pole. All the parallels, everything is been divided. Entire earth is divided into equal parts from north pole to south pole. Everywhere on the earth, night time and the daytime are of equal duration. So on these 2 days, 21st March and 23rd September, on these 2 days, everywhere on the earth, everybody is experiencing same night time and same daytime, means approximately 12 hours day and 12 hours night. For example, early morning, if 6 o'clock the sun has rise, evening 6 o'clock the sun sets. Okay, so it will be 12 hours day and 12 hour night, which is experienced by entire world. So that is equal duration. This condition is called equinox. On equinox, the sun's rays are perpendicular on the equator. In this condition, the circle of the illumination coincides with the great circle defined by two opposite meridians. In the northern hemisphere, spring prevails, that is, the spring season starts from 21st March to 21st June, while autumn prevails, that is, autumn season starts from 23rd September to 22nd December. The southern hemisphere has the opposite seasons during this period. So, the southern hemisphere has opposite season, and why it happens? Because of the tilting of the Earth's axis. So, whichever axis is facing towards the sun, they will experience hot seasons, or they will experience summer. The axis which is far away from the sun will experience winter. Okay, that is spring. Similar manner, it will happen opposite. Later on, the axis which is close to the sun will experience hot season and summer season, and other which is far away will experience winter season. In the northern hemisphere, 21st March is called spring or vernal equinox, whereas 23rd September is called autumnal equinox. The equinox or solstice dates can vary by a day or so. So they can change by a day or something like that. Now here they had given, there is a figure 8.4, the position of the earth with its tilted axis on 21st June and 22nd December. Now in this figure you can clearly understand. See, now what happened? This is sun. The sun is on its position. Sun has not changed its place. Earth. What earth did? It is rotating around itself as well as it is revolving around the sun. So now what happened? While it is rotating around itself and revolving around the sun, see here clearly you can understand. This is 21st June. North pole is towards the sun and south pole is away from the sun. So in this season, this time what will happen? This north pole, okay, and this portion, this north pole and whatever this portion which is coming in the near the north pole, they will experience summer season, okay, and this is far away from the sun, so this portion they will experience winter season. Understood? Then now see here what had happened. This equator has got tilted, right? See this line of equator, it is not straight. In the previous picture we saw that it was straight, it was perpendicular facing towards the sun. Now see what had happened, it is little bit slanting, and that is why it is not receiving sun rays directly, okay, it is little bit slanted. Okay, here also the next one you can see figure B. Now what had happened, the north pole has gone far away from the sun, so now this north pole area is going to experience winter and the south pole area is going to experience summer because it has come close to the sun or it is facing the sun. Okay, now again see equator, it is slanting, so it is going to receive slanting sun rays, not straight. Straight are when the equator is at the center line. Okay, now they are going to receive slanting sun rays. I think this much is clear to everyone. When any one of the poles inclines the most towards the sun, 23 degree 30 inch parallel of that hemisphere receives perpendicular sun rays. So yes, when any one pole is inclining, one pole is moving towards the sun rays, it is, see now this is straight line, actually it should be like this straight. Now from here to here, this distance, okay, how much it has moved? It has moved by 23 degree 30 inch. That is, it had got tilted, slanted. So they receive perpendicular sun rays. The sun rays are perpendicular at the equator on 22nd March and 23rd September, which are the days of equinox. So we had already seen the sun rays are perpendicular. They are straight right in front of the equator, falling straight on the equator on 22nd March and 23rd September, which are called as the days of equinox. After 22nd March, other parallels between the equator and the Tropic of Cancer in the northern hemisphere starts receiving perpendicular rays sequentially. So as the movement of the earth keeps on changing, the other part which is between the equator and the Tropic of Cancer, now you can see here, I will show you, this is Tropic of Cancer and this is equator. So now when the sun is moving, the earth is moving like this, when it is going like this, so what will happen? Now this part, you can see this part is actually in front of the sun. Okay, equator has gone little bit down, it is slanting line. But if you draw a straight line, what will happen? Wait. If you draw a straight line, you can see which part has come near the sun, opposite, exactly in front of the sun, this line of Tropic of Cancer. So now what happened? The countries which are on this line, Tropic of Cancer, they will experience straight sunlight. Okay. The same thing, opposite direction, it happens into Tropic of Capricorn. Now if you draw a straight line here, Tropic of Capricorn is straight facing the sun. So it is going to receive the countries here which are on this, near this belt, Tropic of Capricorn, this belt, they are going to receive the straight sun rays. Tropic of Cancer in the northern hemisphere starts receiving perpendicular rays sequentially. Only on 21st June and 22nd December, the sun rays become perpendicular on the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn respectively. So, on 21st June, the Tropic of Cancer is straight in front of the sun, and on 22nd December, the Tropic of Capricorn is in front of the sun. So on these 2 days, they are receiving the perpendicular sun rays. Straight sun rays are falling on these two, Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. These 2 days are called solstice days. So these 2 days are called as solstice days. I hope you have understood this much. Remaining part of the lesson we will continue in our second video. So children, please watch the video carefully. Try to understand what is explained. If you are not able to understand, you can read the textbook and then again you can watch the video, so the things are clear to you all. Okay, children, take care and stay safe. Thank you.